Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon, and today we're going to be coaching a Viego player. I feel like the most valuable thing you can understand from this is understanding how to path properly. This player is a player I've coached before. He's decent, and he's kind of having a little bit of a problem with when should he be farming or fighting. And so we kind of talk about switching from that mode of fighting or farming and when it's okay to maybe give up some camps and why, that type of thing. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around. If you're interested in getting coached from me, a rank 1 solo queue player, DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description below to my Discord server. $25 an hour for coaching if you're interested. Anyways, let's get right into the video.
I think I was like diamond like 2 games before this, and then I like tanked like a lot.
And I forget, your peak is Master, Grandmaster, something like that, or am I wrong?
Yeah, I was Master 26,
Okay.
so I was like 4 away.
Gotcha. And yeah, I read kind of what you said about like improving on a lot of the notes. So we'll see if there's like different things or if they haven't been improved on as much. We'll just kind of see.
So
But,
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Have there been things that you've been struggling with in general, whether it's related to the notes or just other things with games recently?
I don't really play a lot of other games. Yeah.
So yeah, did I talk about starting red buff last time or no?
No, you
Okay.
told me path to your lane with Prio.
Yeah, so as in starting red buff, as in starting on a buff rather than a small camp. The reason I recommend people start on the buff first is, well, there's one big reason, one small reason. The big reason is that buffs take 2 minutes and 30 seconds to respawn. Roughly, it's like, and small camps take 150. So if you clear your buff first, then the rest of your camps will spawn within a more similar time to each other the second time around, which is more efficient for your second clear, and it means that you don't have to spend as much time
waiting.
I just fucking choked on my own spit. That's gross.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. Yeah, you don't have to spend as much time waiting around, so you get to go back to the other side of the map after. Additionally, you're less likely to be invaded because if you start Krugs, they respawn quicker, which means you have to get back to that side of the map really early to not get invaded. Say that you're unmatched, and then say he kills your Vladimir here, and your Krugs respawn at like 220. That could be a problem. And then the final thing is, this is the really small part, but you end up walking in, since you're coming from Krugs, you walk to a place where it's really easy to hit the Scryer's Bloom. Very, very small, but it's nice to know where they started. So you definitely do want to be hitting the Scryer's Bloom as well to see if they started at blue or not. Make sense?
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah. Because yeah, I don't know. Did you end up hitting it? Oh yeah, you don't. So then.
No, some games I do, some games I don't.
Yeah, and that's something I do want to do every game. If I start red side, if I start blue side, sometimes I don't. Is that Zed mid or jungle? I can't.
Zed.
He looks like he was mid, but it could be. No, he doesn't have a buff. It's. Wait, does he? Yeah, no, it should be mid lane. Okay. Yeah, the reason I was saying if it was jungle, and obviously it was good you react there. If it was jungle, we'd know he start blue buff because Zed's always start blue. But yeah, no, it looks like it was just mid lane. I mean, everything with your clear here is fine. You cleared normally, but you saw an angle to flash over the wall. Obviously, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're looking mid. Like I think you said you were working on scrolling your map. You do scroll it here. I mean, you want to be aware in case he uses cooldowns. So like you saw that he flashed there on the map, and he somehow killed your teammate, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah,
which
you know he has no ult and flash. So yeah. And then yeah, you kind of know your opposite of enemy jungle. So this is sort of what I mean. You can see how you're stuck here, and it's not even 30 seconds until your next camp's respawning. You did your Krugs. But when you're in this situation, because sometimes you're going to just come here at this point, and you're going to have 30 seconds till anything respawns. Like, say we're in a different spot, you did start red buff, your Krugs just respawned, or say you did your Krugs already, and then your Raptors just respawned, but you still have 30 seconds until red. You don't have to go back and do Raptors right away, because you're going to go back when there's like 10 seconds left to your red, so you can do it all at once and then leave. So before that, just go and sit here. Like, go and sit in this bush in the lane, for example. You don't need to go walk back here. Yeah, because you don't have anything to do. You might as well go where you think the most likely chance of a fight happening is. Like, again, here, this is what I mean. You don't really need to be here yet. You could be, but why not sit in the bush and hope that someone, go, like, again, I would go through lane there. Like, go through bot lane. Go into the bush. Rather than, now you're recalling for no reason here. You're about to do your red anyway,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and you do know this guy has low cooldowns, so if he uses his teleport, you can go on him because you pay attention to that, or, if this happens, obviously, you can definitely go on him. And you know he has no flash, so you're completely safe to do that. So that's where, and you need to stay. Go get the.
Stay in plates.
Yeah, go get plates.
Okay.
You could get 2 free plates here, or draw enemy jungle, and I think enemy he's topside right now, so you know he's not gonna be there. So, but even if enemy jungle, you didn't know where he is, but you killed their mid, it's good because then you get to find where their jungle is. Like that's useful for you anyway. And then I don't want you pathing back here because now your red sides are like your blue side's what's spawning, and now you're going back towards red side to do another gank here. And you don't have ult or flash. I mean, your flash is about to come, but you don't have ult. Probably not gonna end up being a kill. And we're just wasting much time. And you can see that's what happens. You just end up realizing you gotta leave. And then you drag yourself around more. Now you go for a random scuttle, and now you're late here. Where now you're clearing these a little bit late. And now at this point you see your Krugs are spawning. So pretty much the issue with what's happening, you're not clearing one side at one time, but then the next side all together, at another time. You're like, so now your Krugs are spawning at a weird time in your Raptors compared to your red, and you're all like, it's all desynced, and that means that you're dragged all across the map, and you have to go from one camp to a gank to go back to get the other camp. It's just like really inefficient with our time. So
that makes sense.
And here you better be waiting until he flashes, and he never flashes, so that's fine that you then are that sure. Like, he probably just doesn't have it. But I could tell you're waiting for it, so that's good. And again, stay for plates. At this point now, you see Wukong coming, so now I would leave. So it's more that I want you to have the idea, but like, what else are you gonna do here right now? If you want to leave, you only have 2 options. Stay here to get more out of the gank, which in this case you would look for and then realize you can't do anything because Wukong's coming. Or go farm your camps. But if you're gonna go farm your camps, they're on bot side, so you would recall because it'd be just as fast and you'd be spending 1,400 gold. But you're looking like you're gonna walk there. So yeah, I think eventually you're gonna realize that you want to recall here, but it's gonna take you a while. I think you're gonna do it eventually. It's just like it took you forever, like you should be recalling in the top side bush there, because the thing is too, like you just sit there, and then if something happened, you're in the top side bush, you could stop your recall. But yeah. And then go bot side. Like there's multiple times where you have one side spawning, you're the complete opposite side. You could be getting 2 camps. You have 17 seconds. That's enough time to get both camps. Your Baron laner looks like he's winning. You haven't really clicked scoreboard yet, or I haven't noticed if you have. But your Baron laner has the turret low, so he's probably winning. So you would want to go Herald anyway. It's a better objective. Instead, you're forcing a fight on the opposite side of the map. Even if you get this kill, your camps would have given you that exact amount of gold, and they would have been guaranteed, not hoping that Jhin overextends, right? Not to mention, very, very common thing that so like, if I'm the jungler against you right now, 95% of the time I'm going to be going Herald if I don't have anything better to do. I see you topside, my team's losing. From my perspective, I'm going to go Herald. What do I tell people to do after getting Herald? I tell them, take everything that you can on the opposite side of the map. Because like when I know that you're on Dragon, because either I see Dragons killed or my teammates get vision or whatever, I do Herald, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can dive the Baron laner. Let me see if I can invade. And there's going to be 3 camps here. I'm going to have Herald recall, which means I can recall really, really quickly, so I can be greedy. I could probably invade your entire red side, if not at least 1 or 2 camps. So you're going to lose out on all that gold, which, again, I think about getting invaded or getting an invade as double gold value, because it's like you're denying it from the person and getting it. So it's 450 gold for these 3 camps, and then double that's 900 gold. Say he gets an eventual turret from Herald plus the drop, because it gives 250 for dropping. That's over 1,000 gold just from all of that, and you're ahead. That should never be possible. And even if that's not what happens, it turns out you just die here, which is kind of a separate thing, but that's just because you're forcing a fight early, and then you're going in with no cooldowns, or, well, not no cooldowns, but I guess you're just, I feel like it's more you just didn't react in time, honestly, more than like, you could have definitely reacted quicker here. And also, as Viego, a lot of people make this mistake of walking around with the squishy champ that they take over.
Yeah, I knew that right away.
Yeah. No, it's very common. It's like, I'll literally be like, okay, take over my Melio you just killed, and now I'm going to go one-shot you. And it's like, yeah, they definitely do that, and that was kind of the mistake there as well, because you were just walking around as Jhin. And then even, again, farm up to the shit. I don't care about this dragon. This is useless. You have 5 camps up and a 6-1 spawning. Every second you don't clear a camp, you're losing like 1 or 2 gold a second. So you have 5 gold, that's 5 camps, that's probably close to 10 gold a second. So every second you're not clearing these, you're losing 10. And again, these camps, like with the red side respawned, these two camps respawned literally like 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
Which means you would have had another cycle of these. Like if we look at it, the one was spawned, this one was spawned at 450, and you're not clearing them until, I don't know, over 7 minutes. I think maybe you just got to kill here so we can, you know. But again, like this is just so much gold you've lost. You've lost 2 camps like entirely because they could have respawned in that time, and then again you're losing 10 gold every second basically. So you're losing. I don't care that you got 600 gold right here. You're losing 10 gold a second for 5 or for like 1 or 2 minutes, and then you're also losing out an additional 300 gold from those. Like that's more than 300, you know, overall. And it's again guaranteed. It's not some risky fight where again you also died with a 3 gold shut or a 3 kill shutdown, so you actually gave away 600 gold. So I think you're getting my point, right? Is just you're basically really kind of forcing these fights at the wrong times because you're having times where your camps aren't up and you can just sit and chill, recall in a lane bush, go look for ganks then recall and go to the other side of the map. Very frequently you have a side of the map spawning and yet you go to the other side where the camps aren't spawning, which then eventually leads to a weird situation where if you get stuck in a fight for a little bit like you did around that dragon, now both of your sides of the map are spawning, and then now it's just really difficult to kind of, you know, get everything. And yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. But
okay.
And then you're invading when you have 6 camps up, and I mean, I guess it's because you have your teammates nearby, so you're thinking like, okay, but you don't have flash, and you don't know where Wukong is, and Wukong is a champion who's pretty scary to you. I don't absolutely hate this play, but it's a bit scary. Unfortunately, you did miss it, but it happens. But the invaded choice is not the worst choice ever. Your teammates, I would say, should have been there earlier, you know, but at the end of the day, again, if you were more efficient, you had your camps up, you were stronger there, and you were aware of the fact you don't have flash, and you ulted out as soon as you saw him, you would have been better. But yeah, it's literally 8.5 minutes. So it went from these camps spawned at like one spawned at like 4:30, the other spawned at like 4:50. It took you over 3 minutes. That's nearly like very close to you could have had 2 additional spawns of each of these camps, which is very problematic. And so you said that you're carrying a lot of games, but then you're losing them. And I can see exactly why that's happening, because you're forcing a bunch of fights in games in situations where like you're pretty good, you're gonna get some kills out of it, and then you're gonna give away occasional shutdowns. You've died twice with the 3 kill shutdown each time. You're gonna give those shutdowns to someone. Viego's an easy champion to throw on. You're making inconsistent plays. Even here, I don't hate this, to be clear. It's not like an awful play. I get why you chose this, and I'm okay with it. But you have 2 camps up, and this is your inclination without ult. Again, like, it's just risky plays a lot, and they're going to work sometimes, and you're a good early game champion, and you know how to play your champion. You're going to generally get decent value out of it, and then you're going to throw a game at some point. It's going to feel bad. And again, this really consistent play is super important in elos like Diamond or Emerald, where your teammates are dog shit always. They just are. And you're concerned with, again, you're following another fight. Why would you go bot side when everyone's here? Go get this mid wave. Your teammates, like, this is why it's easy to play in Emerald and Diamond. Like, I get why it's hard to play in Diamond and Emerald, because your teammates don't follow you. Like on that invade that you did, again, it wasn't necessarily the most ill-advised invade. It was okay. It was reasonable. And I'm not, compared to the other mistakes, that's a small one. But the problem is you're constantly valuing these plays that are reliant on teammates, and you're doing it before you've done everything you can do without teammates. So like, you can farm your camps without teammates. You can get a wave without teammates. You can do these things without teammates. The plays you need to make with teammates are obviously fighting. And so I would rather you make these more risky plays. I'm not saying don't make them, because again, the information you had for that invade was fine, but you need to be prepared properly, which means you need to have recalled and spent your gold, which means you need to have gotten your gold from these camps, rather than, again, you have 3 camps up and you're looking for a play somewhere else, and then you're resetting, even though you could be getting a mid wave right now. Like, you just have a lot more stuff you could be doing with your time. And then again, you go to the side that has 1 camp instead of 2. I don't know why you do that. Probably because you're looking for another fight. And then, okay, we've had like 8 fights, and some have gone well, some have gone bad. You have no idea what's going to happen here. Like, based on, you know, recent history, you've won half of them, lost half of them. It's not like anything. And then again, you go here, you chase, you lose a bunch of cooldowns, he loses a bunch of cooldowns, you barely kill and outplay. I don't care that it ends up working. That's not what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the fact that you had other things that could be guaranteed valuable for you, and instead you're chasing a place where honestly, if the enemy play that really well, you will lose it. It's not like they play it super well. They didn't play it awfully, but again, we're just forcing these random fights constantly. I do like that you're holding on to Herald and waiting for an actual play for it. I don't think you can inhib because of the shield.
Yeah.
And yeah, at this point, okay, so problem with the Herald stuff is when people aren't aware of the expiration date.
Yeah, I think so.
So for me, it's pretty rare I drop it later than like this. Obviously, I don't actually know how many seconds this means. I don't even know how long the Herald lasts. I just look at the... But don't be crazy with it. Like the tip I gave you, I'm really glad you're employing it, and it is a good tip, but don't go to the point where you're trying to squeeze the maximum amount of value out of it either. It's a mix. It's like, yes, if no play for the first minute and a half of it shows up and we don't have anything specific to do with it, then just drop it on that top turret. I don't give a fuck. Or drop it mid when you're there just to get a little, like, do something with it. I mean, that's...
I did notice that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I changed a lot of stuff because I was like over farming, I feel like, because my team fight participation was like 48 for most of the things, and I'm like, why can't I win any fucking games? I'm like, fuck it, I'll just fight all the time and then I'll correct afterwards. So these are games where and it led to a lot of like MVPs and a lot of Gallios.
Yeah.
Because I was going like 12-2 or something. But then I noticed like now if I'm always fighting, now my camps are always up. So I'm trying to adjust. It's tricky figuring that out though, because my team fight participation has always been low. So yeah.
I don't know what my team fight. Actually, I'm just gonna rant. Actually, I don't want to show your last name. Remind me at the end. I want to look at it. But I don't want to have to edit more stuff. But I'm curious to see what my jungle account's team fight participation was last season. Just out of I never check. I don't care about these things. I really don't give a shit about stats. I don't look at those to determine whether or not gold per minute's the only thing that really matters to me. Win rate. But gold per minute's really what matters at the end of the day. But anyways, that aside, I like that you're going like hard into doing the tips, and then you correct after. That is how you should build habits, is you constantly do it. So if you're trying to get perfect value out of the Herald, that's a thing where initially you can be like trying to find the perfect value, and then eventually you're like, okay, well now some games I'm holding on to it too long. You correct. That's totally fine, and that's a totally normal way to build habits. There's no problem with that. And so that can be our thing. Like, you have implemented the tips. You're scrolling your map more, you're using the Herald properly. I forget everything we talked about because it was a little bit ago, but overall, like, you're playing the game well. Again, the problem is now you're getting too deep into the fighting constantly. I don't want you to suddenly go back to just, I'm only going to farm camps and anything, and that's all I'm going to do. I want you to start taking into account the specific reasons for why I want you doing it in like an individual game, and trying to figure out which game is it better for me to constantly be farming in, which game is it better for me to constantly be fighting in, and when can I reel it back. So it's like, yes, I fought for 2 minutes straight because there were a bunch of situations where we're strong and we needed to fight. But then, okay, now I'm just going to only go farm all 6 of my camps because they're all up. Whereas, again, you had 3.5 straight minutes of doing that. Whereas if you just did it for like a minute and a half or however long it would work out for the game, that's fine. But then you have to go back at some point and not bleed too much gold, or else it starts to be less valuable. Like this fight, for example, this is a time where I'm fine with you fighting with all these camps up because there's a dragon spawning and there's a gold bounty on it. I think, like for the enemy, so you don't want the enemy to get it. And I think what you got first, I don't remember who got first dragon, but either way, it's useful either way. Second dragon can be useful either way if you can fight over it, because either you're giving them or you're denying soul, or you're getting the chance to get soul if it's already winning, and you're already strong here. So like, this is a fine fight, and this is why I don't want you to start just going and farming 24/7. This fight is a fight you should have taken. But then right after this fight ends, you have 6 camps to clear. Go clear all of them because you have nothing else to do. And that's, again, this is where the problem comes. So this is it. Like, it's now you're not going back to, okay, I don't need to keep fighting and fighting. What are we really doing with this time? Like, your Baron was expiring. It wasn't like you were going to get a million, more turrets out of it or something. Maybe if you saw the opportunity to get 1 turret, you do it, and then you leave. Again, get the fuck out at this point. This is where we're staying way too long. And this is, again, a big issue with a lot of people when they're ahead. They don't know when to stop pushing. Simple thing is, well, one, if you just got a Baron, your Baron just expired, that's a very, very obvious time to reset, because now you just don't have all that pushing power. And then again, all your camps are up and you have nothing to do. Like there's no objective up, no reason to fight. Your teammates aren't at full health. They probably don't have all their cooldowns. You have gold to spend. They probably have gold to spend. And so yeah, again, like it's not that you should just be farming on cooldown, but now you should be farming everything, and you should be. Again, this is the problem too. Like I don't need you to reset here. I need you to go get all your blue side, all your red side, and then reset at the end because I don't want you fighting for the next minute because there's nothing to do. All I want is you gathering as much gold as possible. And you eventually do this, but you can just see how like it takes you forever. And then you're also chasing a fight after, and then this fight gives away your shutdown. And then now the enemy get gold bounties, and we're kind of fucked. And this is how we throw a game. And now it's even gold. Like, this game should never be even gold. Your teammates have done some dumb stuff, but you should be ahead like 5 gold as a team. I'm echoing. Did you do something different?
I don't think so.
Okay. I kept hearing something in the background, and okay, I think it's good now. I don't know what that was. But I mean, I do like hearing myself, you know, like when I echo, I tell people like, I don't mind too much, but yeah, at some point it makes me feel a little crazy. But either way, I think you get the point. And now we're at Baron. This is when now I don't care about you farming as much again. Baron spawning. Okay. Now we're value fight here, but the difference is like, I don't know how much, since you have 559 gold not spent and you don't have a longsword, that means you have to be somewhat close to an item. So you probably could have gotten that item if you were farming properly. Like, for example, we need to be prepping for this Baron. So the time where we're going to get waves pushed out, like, I'm sure you've had it where maybe you are valuing Baron, and then your side lane is getting fucked on the opposite side, and now you're losing turrets or inhib or whatever. And the reason for that a lot of times is because you don't prep as a jungler beforehand. The reason a lot of times is also because your top laner sucks, but sometimes it's because you just don't prep properly, and that means, like, getting this lane pushed out before, like, 45 seconds is like the ideal timer for me. I push this wave out on 45 seconds top side, then I get to reset. Now I get to set up for dragon or for Baron, dragon, whatever it is, about 30-25 seconds beforehand. Instead, you're dead there because you were chasing a random fight that didn't do anything. And even if you got the kills there, a lot of times what would you have to use to get the kills at like 45 seconds? You'd have to use a flash. And so 45 seconds before dragon you use a flash, or 45 seconds before Baron you use a flash. I don't care that you got 500 gold from that if that 500 gold didn't get you fucking GA or Infinity Edge or whatever. You're going to be weaker at that fight despite being 500 gold richer because you don't have your flash, and maybe the enemy do, or maybe the enemy never had their flash and it's coming up now, like, anyway, and I think you get the point. And then yeah, I'm fine with you hovering here. I guess why did you take QSS? Jhin? Who are they?
It was, I think it was I changed my loadout so that I always get enchants after third item after BT, like you said.
Yeah, but I'm saying you should get stasis.
But then I should have gotten stasis for Zed.
Yeah, and because they also have burst damage from Wukong. Like, Wukong, you're not QSSing Wukong ult because he ults twice. And he's good at chasing you down. Like, he usually has phase rush. He also just has a lot of mobility. So, like, you're not doing QSS to stop that unless you're, like, a cat and you don't want your ult to get canceled. Right. And they have Jhin. That's not something that, like, yes, Jhin W can be annoying, but you're not taking QSS for it. And Teemo, I don't know who their other champ is, but I don't think you need QSS here, and this is and it's a brand. I mean, brand CC is not. Stasis is probably better, and then you just QSS running away. Like, what are you gonna QSS a Jhin ultimate? Like, that didn't do anything, and so that's a panic QSS, and I get it happens, but the reason. So this comes down to like kind of the spell usage and tracking thing is like, we need to figure out what we want our spells for, and if it comes to spell tracking here, you're thinking to yourself, what am I going to use my QSS for? It's really going to be either a Wukong ult or a Jhin W most of the time. Like, that's really what you're going to be QSSing. And so if you already have thought about that, you're not usually going to panic a QSS here. Like, it didn't make any sense. Like we said, we should add stasis, but when it comes to spell usage regardless, you need to be thinking about who you actually want to be using it against and thinking what's more valuable. So is blocking a Zed ult or blocking Wukong knocking you up more important to you? Obvious answer at the, you're kind of aware. And then, I mean, this is just greedy, but like you could have just.
Well, the thing is, I didn't have vision, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what time it is, and I didn't like. There's a few things wrong. Like, I didn't. I should have had Zhonya's. I also didn't switch the ward, so I've been switching scryers for yellow ward after like mid game because nobody wards in these fucking games, and I don't ever have vision on Baron, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I didn't have vision. Yeah.
The vision thing, I do want to mention this is important. It's good to do the vision thing when you're behind, especially when it's this side, the Baron. When the Baron's on the other side, it's a lot harder, but you can still do it. But when you're behind, yes. But when you're ahead, you have complete control of the map, and your sweeper gets a lot of value taking out wards, and then making the enemy feel like how you feel. Because it doesn't matter if you don't have vision, if you have complete control of the Baron, which you will if you're ahead. So you should never need that vision, because your body's giving you vision anyway, and you're controlling the bushes, and you want them to have no vision around the bushes, and usually most other teammates aren't going to take sweeper. But when you're behind, then the reason you take the ward is because, yes, stealing a Baron is one of the main ways to come back. And so in this game, I would like you to have ward, yeah, but I don't want you doing it every game, because there's plenty of games where you're ahead, and it's way easier to snowball by having sweeper. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. But the thing I was going to say here, regardless, was just to be patient and vis around the wall. It's 2 more seconds, and it makes you infinitely more likely to actually time it properly. You have no idea how low this thing is, so this is just more panic than you needed. But I mean, I get the reasoning for it, and also if we actually think about it, like, this Baron is going to expire by the time Elder starts, and you need to understand, like, how am I actually going to win this game? It's going to be around Elder. It's not going to, even if you stole that Baron, it just stall. But you could stall. Why does he have GA on Thresh? What the fuck? Either way.
The Thresh was doing work, man.
Fucking GA is crazy, though. But, yeah, you could stall either way if they got Baron, because it's not going to coincide with Elder. So stealing it isn't anything crazy. It's, if you had the opportunity to steal it and you, like, had vision, it's fine. But with completely no vision, again, I would have been more patient with the E. Then you should just be focused on clearing waves here, not really, like, fighting. And I guess if this guy's caught, maybe, but yeah, it's just like, why? Like,
yeah, it was unfortunate.
It just doesn't make sense. And I get it, but I think you realize you need stasis here, it seems.
Yeah, I did. I realized after that fight.
And again, those are mistakes that make sense. You said you don't buy enchants much. You said you don't use, you used to use the Herald on cooldown, so it makes sense that the mistakes are Herald usage now and proper usage of the stasis and QSS, since you don't use them half the time. So,
and actually, when you review these games, can we take just a moment afterwards to double check my pathing at the beginning based on lanes, and then double check my enchant?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the enchant choice here we already talked about. We wanted stasis, right? But yeah, you can remind me at the end of this game, and we'll do that, and we'll do it for the next one. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about even who you're pathing to, and I'm fine with you flipping this because you're behind. So yeah, this is fine. Hopefully you get it. You didn't get it.
I did early smite, but
that he choked it too, I guess, so it's fine. Going back here, obviously, I mean, that was a mistake. It's not really anything to talk about. Yeah, you should just ran out. You got the objective, just get out, rather than going for the fruit. But I get the reasoning was you're surviving, you're just panicking a bit there, which again, I think panicking was one of the issues we kind of talked about with you. It seems like you're still very, very panicky. So there is that. But yeah, we kind of talked about how I think you might be able to go about improving that, but that is kind of an experience thing. The more you play, the less you panic. And yeah, I mean, I would be using E here to hover, like, rather than, I don't really know why you're so scared to use your E here. Just like, yeah, you eventually do. It wouldn't have done anything. It just, it could do something. So we want to be aware of that. And you're also letting Baron just fuck you, and it does reduce your resistances, so we don't really want that.
I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah, if Baron's hitting you, reduce your resistances. At least old Baron did. I assume the new Baron does, like, as in the real Baron. Now this is the whatever weird thing, but I'm pretty sure it still does. And then, again, like, this is that complete impatience thing. The enemy are the ones respawning first. Your teammates are not respawned yet. You're trying to force super hard. I'm just not a fan of that. And if you did, yeah, if you were able to get that ult off, it might have been okay. But now at this point, the enemy have been respawned for about, like, 10 seconds. And you continue to go forward.
Yeah.
And you also go forward on Brand. Brand's not a key target this game. I don't think he's very strong, based on the fact that he's level 14 at 21 minutes.
Okay.
And that he did, like, no damage to you. So I still don't see the scoreboard clicking very often. I don't have much information. Maybe, again, it's kind of hard sometimes to see, like, maybe when I'm skipping, you're clicking it. But we need to have that information. We need to be thinking who's the key target, who's someone I actually want to kill, and how am I going to kill him? Like, here, I think Zed and Wukong seem to be the ones who are fucking you.
Yeah.
So those champions both have a lot of mobility, so you need to be waiting until Zed ults someone. You need to be waiting until Wukong goes in and uses his clone, especially. Like, these things need to be out. And then you get one kill on one of those champs, and you can carry the fight. Instead, yeah, I mean, we kind of saw your just like lack of patience leads to that. I didn't really mind you trying to find a pick here. Kind of desperation. Yeah. What a weird situation.
Yeah, it was too bad. Okay.
I think it's over there. Okay, so you wanted to quickly look at the pathing, or?
Yeah, just to make sure, just based on champs.
I mean, definitely go towards Lucian Thresh. What is that, Brandon? Okay. Who's the ADC? I can't see them now. I don't know what my memory is.
I think I have it at the beginning. I have it at the screen load or whatever.
Yeah. So no, Lucian Thresh and the Jhin Brand, you're 100% going to go to Lucian Thresh. Now, Vladimir, Teemo, they're double range champs. So I do like pathing to range champs a lot. But in this game, you have insane gank setup from Thresh, and Thresh Lucian are super good early game. So.
No, I think I hear what you're saying. I mean, the couple things that I tracked were, or at least my dragon should have gotten Zhonya's. So now you're like panicky fights still, and spell tracking. There were certain greedy, like the Brand play was greedy, so I understand waiting for a bit, just based on respawns, and then not inting into the Baron pit.
Yeah, I mean, that again, there is the patience aspect for you, which is not really coaching as much as it's just like there's different things that can lead to that, and obviously I don't know what it is for the individual, but that's something to be aware of and for you again to figure out. And then the gameplay stuff. I think the biggest problem with your gameplay was, and also you're pathing the correct lane here, by the way, and I think the reasoning is pretty obvious: stronger lane and more volatility versus a Sion. He's Sion. But yeah, like the biggest thing for you was the fact of how long you were leaving your camps up, and your like lack of get everything from one side of the map, like from our red side or from our blue side at the same time, then make our play. And also again, like not realizing when you do have free time to make a play because you've cleared your camps and you don't have anything else to do. Like you're like still walking all around the map and whatever. Why do we walk up here? Oh, you're looking for a kill.
I think I was looking for a play.
Yeah, that's fine. You saw that he was low. I'm perfectly fine with that. And you're scrolling. I think scrolling the map thing is a habit you definitely seem to have gotten a lot better at. And yeah, like the fact that you're even, this is amazing. This is like exactly what we're talking about. And yeah, you could flash on this guy. I mean, I guess you don't need to. I respect the patience. I would have just flashed, but that's good. You didn't. And yeah, I hate when I get stuck in the form because I don't have level 5. That can be like really gross, but yeah, no, it's good. And yeah, I mean, again, scrolling a map, this doesn't look diveable. I like that you're looking for it, and then you should probably realize, you get out. I don't know if I would have recalled here. I shouldn't have recalled there, but you should be fine. I'm pretty fine. I tried patience. Does actually reveal you in your thing?
I don't know. I actually control word the big one.
Because control word doesn't reveal like Kha'Zix, I think, and like I don't know what causes some invisibility to be revealed or not be revealed, but that's what I was wondering.
In Viego, it's proximity, so I think if you're close enough to it.
No, but I mean, does the control word well, yeah, because the control word, it wouldn't be proximity. It would be just if you're in the proximity of the normal control word vision, which isn't the same as the proximity of like Viego being close to Viego. I don't know. Probably doesn't really matter. It's a pretty rare thing, but that aside. I'm the coach, I should know that, so that's my fault. Either way, I'm fine with the fact I was fine until you did this, so I don't really see how you're going to, like, I guess if you want to do a quick drive-by, you can, but I would way rather go for our bot side camps first. So a very typical sequence of, like, the most common times you're going to find ganks, as in any jungler, really. The first time is after you do your first full clear. Either right before you do scuttle, like you do like you did here actually, where you skip scuttle, or you do scuttle and then maybe you find a gank. The other most common time, or there's a couple more to talk about, but the other time is, say you're resetting here, but say you reset 20 seconds ago because you realized nothing had happened bot side. You make a play top side because you see something top side, and then like say by the time that you're already like, again, say you reset earlier, you're already basically here ready to make a play, and say maybe there was more volatility going on this lane, you would gank right before, like as you're at this timer, like 2:36, where yes, one of your blue camps are up, but you still have like 30 seconds till all your blue camps spawn together. Are you aware, by the way, random question, if you do a normal clear, typically you start blue side, what time is your blue buff going to be at for when this other camp spawns?
It's like 2:30 or something, and then the wolves start at like 17. When the blue buff has 17 left, the wolves are up.
It's I mean, it depends on the specific champion. Yeah, it's around 15. Depends on how fast you're clear. But yeah, I just wanted to know if you're aware of that. So that's why I'm saying, like, now, if you were aware of that, you actually would realize it's like very, very slightly faster to go your wolves first here, because your wolves are about to spawn, and then you can go up rather than going up then down, and like it's a small thing, but that's the random little thing I want you to be aware of. Is just like,
and usually I would do that. I've been in the habit of doing that in all my other games. Like I said, I was trying to like make sure to be at basically every fight. And sometimes it doesn't fucking work, and now it fucks up my camps.
I mean, well, that was a very small thing. That was like literally the smallest possible detail ever. That one didn't matter. Or I was already went through this part. Wait, we didn't actually see what happens here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't want you looking for plays here because you have your camp, and that. All right, that's I like forgot where I was talking about. So that's what I was talking about. Was those are the timers I want you ganking. Is you do your full clear, you can gank the bot side right after, or you do your full clear, you reset, you can quickly gank top side. What I don't want is then you go back to clearing your blue side camps, and then you look for a gank after that, because right after you clear your blue side camps, your red side camps are immediately spawning. That's just how the timers work. And so you want to be getting those, and then it's after we get that red side, then we have a large window where we can do kind of whatever. So a very common thing would be you would do your raptors and your krugs. Are these called raptor chickens? I don't know. You would do these two red side small camps, and then you could maybe look for a brief gank, because you're going to usually have 10-15 seconds till your red respawns. And then you can go back to red, and then now you have, because the syncing of red buff with other camps only works for the first like clear or two. It's not going to work forever because it keeps respawning at a different timer. It just gets more and more offset. So you're not trying to keep it throughout the game. It's just more that like early game where you really want it. So at this point now, you can wait a little to clear your red if you see a gank opportunity. Otherwise, you clear your red, you reset, and then now you spend the rest of your time on top side till your blue side camps come. But again, the problem is you're forcing here, and you also knew your opposite side of a really, really strong early game jungler, which can lead to something like this.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because we already saw him. He was opposite side. So like even that is an additional thing. So it's like, let's say you were in a different situation where enemy jungler was super, super inefficient, got fucked. You're a mega fed early game, and you have a bunch of prio. Then you could, in this situation, be looking for an invade because you know your red side spawning, his red side spawning because you know your opposite side. And that's the case where then, and that's why I'm trying to tell you, like, this is where the nuance comes in, is then you could be doing exactly what you do, and you'd probably fuck this fight because you'd have strong early game champions, you were strong early game, and the enemy got fucked early. That's how you make the game go from we're in a decent spot to the enemy are going to FF at 5 minutes because they can't play the game. So if you're understanding why you can't be doing this here...
Can you explain this again? Can you explain this again briefly?
So let's say we're in a hypothetical situation right here where you're 1-0 Viego. The enemy are a 0-1 Kayn, whose early game, he tried to gank, he died on the gank. He died, let's say, to your top laner, so your top laner has prio, and then say your mid laner is Jace, Just like, basically the point is you have really strong early game on this side of the map, and you also know the enemy jungler was the opposite side of you. Does that scenario make sense so far?
Yes, what's happening? Yeah, then I get red.
So because of that, you could look for his camps, because if you're...
Right.
And let's also look at exactly when this camp spawned. So when exactly did this camp spawn is 310 roughly is when you see it 308. And so if this spawned at 308, his probably spawns right around 308 if he's done the same stuff as you, like the opposite side. And so you know that, and then you're like, okay, well now when are my Krug spawning? It's gonna be a little later. You see them all spawning, and it's right around this timer. You go look here now. Like you use your invis and you check, because in this hypothetical scenario, your mid laner has prio and is winning lane. So, yeah, does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And that's where I want you to understand, like, that's why what you did was fine if that was the case, but it's not the case. And then again, you're going for more fights. Like, why? Like, I don't care about Scuttle. Scuttle is not important. Your camps are important. Scuttle is just like a convenient little thing we get after we've done everything else. You don't need to like force for Scuttle. And you're forcing a play with no flash and no ult. And it worked. It worked. That's great. I'm happy. We love it. but like this is not the type of consistent play where we could have looked at that and been like super confident it would have worked out. And so again, I mean, I just want you focusing on farming your camps up first, because like there you went to get scuttle, you didn't go to get the gank, and then it turned out the gank showed up. If you went immediately to the lane and you were like, this brief time I can get a kill, that's fine. That was a good stun. Damn, clean. We'll take it. And so yeah, again, like reset and then clear all your top side up to this, and then I'm fine with this. But you better be clearing literally all 3 of these camps. I don't see a reason to skip any. If you skip Gromp, it's not unreasonable. But like you're not in a rush. Like you're in such a rush to be on the Herald at 2 seconds, you know, like or at 0 seconds as it spawns. Your teammates
really, I don't have to be rushing for these.
Well, look at the scenario here. You have a dead Scion, and you have one person who's going to help you here. So there's only 2 scenarios that happens. Either the enemy go Dragon, in which case you have time to do it, right?
Yeah.
The other scenario, the enemy decide to contest you, in which case, get the fuck out. Your top laner's dead. You know, like there's only those 2 scenarios. So in neither of those scenarios, you're rushing, right? So that's what we need to take into account. And again, like, that's why I get why you want to be rushed if you have a reason to be rushed. So if your teammates are setting up for the fight and the enemy are like trying to poke your teammates out and you're all these things, then you can set up for it right away. But not really the case here. In the case
but I
here,
could
again,
easily have just gotten Gromp and waited for Scion, and then he would have been up by that time anyway, right?
Yeah, he would have been up. Maybe he can help you contest. Maybe he has TP. I don't know. But again, then instead, what are you doing? Like you're trying to go chase a fight late where your mid laner is not set up. Your teammates are probably going to get poked out already. They're going to get zoned off. Your teammates are split up, which means the enemy can split the fight here. They can either go on to bot side onto those 2 people as you're trying to come, and then they have a brief 4v2, or vice versa. They go onto you. They have a brief 4v2 on you 2. Either way, despite the fight split up, why wouldn't you do what we've talked about over and over? Drop the Herald top and get a dive, or look for an invade, right? Like, you don't know if his red side camps are up. You remember, like, you're in the elo where people don't farm their camp. They make the mistakes that you're making constantly. And that means his red side probably has a 70% chance of being up right now. Just go check it. It takes you 2 seconds. Take as much as you can on this side of the map rather than obsessing over getting everything everywhere.
Okay.
And again, it's not always going to work out badly. Like sometimes like it looks like this might actually be fine. But that's not the point. The point is that it's just an unnecessary risk when we can be getting a bunch somewhere else. But yeah, if you were more aware there, you don't play this champion, do you?
Samira? No, I just know that her E is her dash.
Yeah. No, I was just saying if you were like a clean Samira there, that's like a penta. But it's still not bad. I mean, you still get a triple. And it's smart to not take the thing. I feel like a lot of people would make that mistake. But yeah, I'm pretty
learning that one.
That's good. And yeah, like your mechanics on this champ are fine. But again, like now you have your red side starting to spawn. And so the problem is, again, when you get obsessed with doing everything everywhere, it fucks with your timing. Because now, instead of taking everything from the top side, extracting all of the enemy camps, all of your camps, getting the turret on the dive, now you come back to top side, and there's so much you want to do, but then there's also stuff you want to do bot side, because your bot side camps are starting to spawn. And so now it feels really awkward. Whereas, again, if you just spend that time after Herald getting as much as possible, instead of going, again, look at your route here. You went from top Herald to Dragon to a fight, recall, back to top, now you're going to go back to bot. When, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you would be on Herald, then you walk 2 seconds to go to his Krugs or whatever camps here, take them, dive top side, go back to your red side, or your blue side rather, recall, you go to red side. It's way smoother. It's like, it's just a lot less time. And that's like, again, that's the problem. Like you're 5-1 and you're like 6.7k gold. Like it's pretty good, but it requires you to be absolutely fucking them. And then again, you're chasing another fight here when you have camps on bot side. What would be super easy to do right now is recall with the fast ass recall you get from Herald. Go run bot side and get a double kill. You're going to double kill them here, 100%. You can dive because the turret's gonna die, and then this is an easy double kill. Instead, you're deciding to force a fight that's a 50-50 because you have equal numbers here, for no reason. And yeah, so I think you get the point.
How do you because you saying that, oh, you should just go get this double kill, it's 1000%, you have Herald, you can dive. I'm not even, to be honest, I'm like never thinking that far ahead or like maybe of that like outcome. How is there a better way I can like be thinking about that or in that way?
So it's mostly about understanding what the most important factors are to take into consideration. And the most important is jungle. So their jungler, we knew his blue side wasn't up after, because you looked for an invade after the dragon. So, and he spent a lot of time on dragon because that's where he was for like a minute straight fighting or whatever. So with that logic, we're 95% sure he's going to show himself topside. I think he showed here. I think that's him. Yeah. So he's obviously going to go topside. He's been bot side forever. So now he's going to go top. And because I know he's going to be topside, I know I can get the jump on the play. I know I can dive because there's a turret. And then I'm just so the point is, because I know I already explained this to you. The things that you need to take into account, jungle pathing is number one, and that's why for jungle pathing you knew you were safe there in terms of his jungle pathing. And then the other thing is just the ability to kill the enemy, which just comes down to knowing your champion. Like, do you think in a 2v2 where you get to go behind them because you get to drop your herald here? At 2v2 with Caitlyn and Viego into Nami and Misfortune, you're either going to blow their flashes or kill them. There's not really another outcome. Even if you get bubbled, I think you'd be fine. And you have ability to avoid bubbles. So basically, it's how likely am I to kill the enemy based on the factors, and how likely is it for their jungle to be there. But yeah, I mean, it's all going to depend on the game. I guess there's never 100%. Then yeah, I mean, you eventually go here. Should be good. Too bad you didn't get the reset button. So.
I know. I wanted it.
So good. Yeah, I mean, I might be able to kill him here. Yeah, I think you can. Oh, you dodged his thing too.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
I think it goes pretty well. Yeah, but the enemies are the enemies are just bad. So like it's like, yeah, I did like a fine, okay job, but
no, you played this side just like well. Like the fight was played very well. The problem was your again, like decision making in terms of when to be here. Like the fact that you showed up here, it's a coincidence that there was a good play here. Whereas yeah, you could have been making this play a lot earlier. You wouldn't have killed 4 people, you would have killed the 2 bot side, but yeah. The mechanics were good. Like, the fight was played very well. And then this is again the time where it's like, okay, we need to realize that there's nothing to do, and then we need to go farm all our camps. And when should we have known this? Like here. You should probably take the turret with your teammate bot side and then do it, because the herald's not going to fully kill. Like, you get local gold from being around a turret. I guess if you're trying to take mid turret instead, I don't mind. But you can see, yeah, like, then you should just be leaving. Now everything's done. You've gotten turrets out of it. You've gotten camps. What else do you have to do here? Just get out. And you eventually do. It's not like super late. But then this is the other thing. So oftentimes you're in a situation where you have an objective you're probably going to contest. Now here, technically, yes, I would say to be around Baron, but Dragon spawns 15 seconds earlier and it's solo queue and you're ahead. So you're probably going to want to fight Dragon, because Dragon is a good thing to fight when you're ahead, because it means you get to fight, because people go to Dragon regardless. And so because we want to go Dragon here, as long as you're aware of the fact that they can sneak Baron and you make sure that doesn't happen, I want you to go topside first, because this is really important. This is what a lot of people don't think about. Like, you have enough time to kill your entire blue side and then come to the red side, and you're already going to be there, so you can start clearing your red even as it's spawning, because you're an assassin, you're going to be setting up late. But if you clear your red side first, now you're not going to get to clear your blue side until whenever this fight's over, assuming that you win it, which in that case then you're going to go Baron, then you're probably going to reset from there, and it's going to take you forever. And so again, you're going to lose a lot of time there. And you also wanted to reset for Bloodthirster, but instead you don't. You do a dragon, like you definitely would have wanted to just do that quicker and then reset for Bloodthirster, and then just be ready for that. And then again, just like get out. Like, your goal is to get Baron now. You don't need to keep chasing. They're pretty far away. I wouldn't do Baron by myself if I'm kind of scared. Smiting it this late too is scary, because I don't know where their jungler is.
Well, I had 2 smites, so like you can solo Baron if you have Bloodthirster on Viego early and 2 smites. But I kind of thought people would come over here, but
I mean, I get why you thought they would come, but they weren't coming, and so then at that point I would just be like, okay, we'll just wait. But it's not really a big deal. That's not some of the things I tell you are very minor. I'm fine with that choice and the awareness of what you want to do. But you see, this is a game where I want you to have sweeper because, again, like, look at the situation, and I think you switched now. You didn't switch before, but still.
I switched now, yeah.
But even, say, 3 minutes from now, I want you to have sweeper because the way you lose is them stealing a Baron, not you needing to steal a Baron, and that's where the sweeper is more valuable for preventing a Baron steal, compared to wards being better for getting a Baron steal. And then, yeah, just push the sideways with your team, and be fine here. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same situation, by the way, where you should be blue side first here, right? Because
okay, yeah, because I have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have to actually get 3 blue side, by the way. You could just get your blue buff, like, at least.
Just blue buff. Okay.
But you can, if you have time or you need a little more gold, you can do multiple. But yeah, we want to make sure we're getting our blue, because usually there's going to be a champ who really wants it anyway, and it gives you lower cooldowns. So
I have a question on when should I be going in to team fights as Viego? Because I have the same problem with Riven, where I'd be just trying to make all the plays from like fighting front to back and everything. And I'm like, oh, Viego's an assassin. I can't really just fight everybody. So sometimes it is difficult to figure out, like, do I need to wait for a reset on ult angle, or like, are there times where it's appropriate to just be fighting peeps?
yeah, I mean, obviously if you can find a reset, it's ideal. I think this game's just gonna end. But yeah, if you can find a reset, it's ideal. But there's cases where you know the enemy don't have certain cooldowns, you know you can just kill them. So I guess it's usually gonna be killing. You're usually not gonna go onto someone if you don't think you're gonna be able to kill them. Whether that's because they don't have a cooldown or your teammate engaged or whatever. It's pretty rare you're playing for like poke in fights. I mean, there's cases where maybe you think you can, but yeah, you're a bit too all in for me to. Obviously, it's always going to be situational, but no, generally, yeah. If you're not able to find a reset or you don't see a kill angle, it's going to be pretty rare. Because a lot of champs, they can go in if they have a way out, and your way out is getting a reset, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
So, okay. Yeah. Make sense?
Yeah, real quick, can we double check pathing and enchant on this one?
Yeah, we talked about the pathing, right? It was like, yeah, you have early game Karma Caitlyn, of course you're going to go to them, they're stronger, and Sion is... Yeah. Sion and Mordekaiser are not going to fight much, and Sion's very self-sufficient, so all of that. And then your enchant, what did you go?
I got QSS just because there's not like a ton of burst, it seems like, except for maybe Fortune.
What do they have? Nami Bubble?
Yeah, Nami Bubble, Wave.
So they only have... I mean, Mord CC, I feel like it's pretty rare you're going to QSS his E.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing else. Whereas I could see myself getting ulted by Mordekaiser and wanting the stasis to block a Q that could actually save my life. And I can see myself also getting hit by a spear from Nidalee and wanting the QSS, or wanting the stasis rather. So it's, for me, it's more that they have burst damage that I'd rather be stalling than any CC being dangerous. Yeah, no, for me it's more like, is the CC easy to land, or is it something where if I go on someone, they're going to respond with that, and then I'm not going to be able to kill them, so I need QSS. And, like, for me, Nami Bubble, I'm not worried about getting hit by a bubble. Like, it will happen, but it's pretty easy to dodge, pretty hard to hit, and usually requires more follow-up CC. Her ult is kind of the one thing where you could say maybe it's scary, but I'm not that scared of it. It's pretty easy, slow traveling, unless you're on top of Nami, but Nami's not really my target, so QSS is okay here. I would say it's like 70-30 for stasis being slightly better, but you could go QSS because of those reasons. But for me, again, Mordekaiser and Nidalee are scarier than a bubble or Mordekaiser E.
So you want QSS for, like, not Leona, Annie?
Yeah, like point and click, easy to land, or they just have a bunch of CC, or they have like no burst damage.
And we want Zhonya's for like Zed, Talon, and...
Yeah, but I don't think you're confused about that. I think you're confused about the games where it's less obvious, which are games like this, where there's burst damage, but it's not like Zed or Fizz or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, these types of situations, I will default to stasis most of the time, because it's more generally valuable, because you're always going to take damage. Like, that's obvious, but... So, for me, it's more like, I have to have a good reason to go QSS, which is I think I can kill someone or I can avoid dying really easily if I am able to click this button for this spell. And I don't see this spell here that I like care about that much.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think I likely will upload this. I'll try to do it right after, so I'm not lazy about it. What champs did you play? What Viego? My brain is not good. Okay, so going back, just first thing, your pathing is fine, but starting red. Start on a buff, not red specifically, just start on a buff. Again, that's not something everyone agrees with me on, so I always kind of mention that. A lot of people don't agree with me. I think they're wrong and they're stupid and they're ugly and I hate them, but that's besides the point. It's there's a reason, because it is faster to start on Krugs. So your first clear is faster, but I always say, like, I don't care about the scuttle. It's like I'll get the scuttle after I do my full clear, and if the enemy has already done it, you just reset. So you don't really need to be on it faster. It doesn't do that much for me. It's pretty rare I win a game off a scuttle fight, but having that syncing of timers for your next clear is more important in my opinion, which is kind of what you need to understand for the early game in general, which is like timers, understand best timers to gank. Which is, again, we'll kind of put in parentheses, usually like 150 to 230, right? Because this is before your blue side, if you start blue side will respawn, or your red side, you start red side, and you've already finished your full clear, so it's like this timer. And then also after you clear blue and red side a second time, because once you clear blue and red side a second time, you have quite a while until your final side spawns before the objective. Whereas after you do your first full clear, but then you get like your second side starting to respawn, as soon as you clear your first side, the second side's already about to come up. I don't know if that makes sense. I worded that weirdly, but you get what I mean or no?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, just early game in general, you need to be aware of that. And then be okay with sitting in a bush when you have nothing to do. And then also just like, I don't know, like keep clicking recall, and then, you know, you delay it last second if you want to stay, or you just, you know what I mean? I don't know how to word that though. Just like
cancel the
spam in bush. I don't know.
Sorry.
And bish, Jesus. Well, there we go. So yeah, early games, kind of that. And then in general, I just want you to be more aware of your camps. So I'm trying to think of exactly how we want to word that, but basically just like know when to switch from fighting to going back to farming. And then also clear a side together rather than one camp, then leave, then go back. So it's, again, like you have this time where, yes, maybe my Krugs are up, but my red and my raptors are going to spawn in 30 seconds. I'll wait for them. I'll go make my play now when they're still not all up, and then once they're all coming back up, even if, yes, maybe my Krugs will respawn 20 seconds later, that's worth making them all respawn similar next time, so I don't have to waste as much time there. That's your biggest thing, is definitely you're just not able to switch it on and off. I think I mean, I think you need to ask yourself, like, what's going to win me the game? Because for me, it's like, yes, the game is going well, you're getting kills, and then at some point, like, I'm sure you've had the situation where you're winning a game, you take all 3 of their outer turrets, like, and then, well, now I'm kind of sitting here for the next 3 minutes until Baron spawns. What do I do? And when you're at that spot where you're like, what do I do? You no longer need to start or continue forcing all these things randomly. There's that. Then a couple other small things is Herald. Don't wait until last second to drop it. So again, we kind of talked about this. You're doing a better job of using it. Now we just need to get more in the middle of, we're not dropping at the end or the beginning of its lifespan most of the time. But yeah, we talked about that. Then extract everything you can from a side of the map before leaving. So after taking Herald, this is just a common example of what you did. After taking Herald, invade and drop Herald on turret, rather than on. I will drop Herald on turret if we can dive, right?
Yeah.
Like you could have in that one, rather than contesting drag late. Because again, like if they realize you're contesting drag late, again they can make a 4v2 within the 4v4 for a brief moment of time, and it's hard to play. And again, you're also, if you get to a fight late, of course, it just decreases your chances of winning. Now, there's going to be cases where it's like it's different. You already know that you can't invade, turret's already dead, and you're way stronger, and you want to just fuck them, you know, and then you know you can. Like, you're way stronger, your dual lane's way stronger, and they're full health, and they have cooldowns, and you can do it in that case. It's just not every time, and not most of the time that you want to be doing that. Yeah, what are the other things? Anything else do you remember we mentioned? I'm trying to think of what else.
More spell tracking.
Yeah. That's just something at this point that is like I read it for everyone. I think you didn't do a bad job of it though. I think your mechanics in the fights and your spell tracking was mostly fine. I mean, sure, there's always going to be times, and so it's always something that you can keep in mind. I know there's more things we talked about. My mind's kind of blanking for a second, but
panicky fights.
Yeah, definitely less panicking for sure. And again, I think not really something I can help you with as much.
Yeah.
But it's something to be aware of and figure out kind of why that's happening. But yeah, ultimately I want you to just be more aware of like the when to be farming, when to be fighting.
Okay.
And that's very situational, but generally speaking, make the consistent play unless you can tell yourself a reason to not. So take the turret, take the wave, take the camp. Do that unless you can tell yourself a reason not to, which relates to like that jungle tracking point where you could have reset and gone bot side and dove and then gotten the double kill because we knew their jungler would go top side. So like use the fact that you are opposite side of enemy to track them and make plays accordingly. So a bit of like a conceptual question, I guess, is, and we kind of talked about it, but if you know that you're opposite side of the enemy, but you're way stronger than them, and you like very similar in terms of when your camps are spawning, you're aware of that or whatever, is there a way you can think of that you could make the game easier to play or continue to snowball, like when you're ahead and the game's going really well based on the fact that you're opposite side of each other?
Yeah, I would just keep split pushing and draw because you need to force a 2v1. So if your team can fight, then they can have numbers advantage.
You want to force a 2v1 where?
Wherever I am if I'm strong, right?
So there's times where that makes sense, but it's a bit more complicated than that because when you're stronger, the general rule is you want, and I made a video on this recently, funnily, you want matched numbers, which means you don't want a 3v4 and a 1v2. You want a 4v4 and a 1v1, generally.
Okay.
Not always, because sometimes you're like, no, they can't make a play that side. It's my Scion's safe, whatever. But generally speaking, we would prefer to try to have the numbers even. And that was that situation where you remember where you tried to force a fight, and then like your bot side was spawning, your red side was spawning, but after you cleared your blue side, you went to gank mid, and then the Nidalee fucked you and you died. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yep.
And that's where I told you, if you were stronger in that hypothetical situation, you could have done that. And so the reason I mention this is because we can basically artificially make our clear match them. The same way where, again, in that game later, remember when I told you you clear your top side, then your bot side when they were all up so you could be at dragon on time, but you would already have your blue side cleared? You can do a similar thing, but manipulate your spawn timers in a way where now you're looking for that, early aggressive invade, because now all your camps are going to have time to spawn. And then now, instead of, normally you would have done your red side first because your red side was spawning, but then your blue side spawned later. Now you do your blue side first, and then it makes the spawn timers. Now your camps are spawning as though you matched him initially. And we want to create that like artificial matching when we think having even numbers is good, which is going to happen in a case where, again, you're ahead and your team is ahead and you want just a bunch of fighting and whatnot. But it's more complicated than that. I don't want you to start forcing that every time, because obviously forcing an invade a lot of times when you're ahead is how you kind of throw a game. So there's another thing you can do, which is similar but a little different. And that is basically choose when you're going to actually make a play. So let's say you just cleared your blue side, and your blue side player is ahead, but it's a Scion, and he's into a tank. You're not going to force a gank there, even though you're ahead and you might want equal numbers. Let the enemy waste more time there. Wait until you get to your bot side, you clear your bot side, and then maybe you have a strong, duo lane. You gank around them, and then again, next time while your camps are spawning, clear your reds or clear your blue side where the top, Scion is. Leave that immediately. Go to your strong side. So basically, the point is early game, taking into account the fact that when you can, you want match numbers from ahead, but you also want to play around your strong side champion who is more useful. And so I'm basically just giving you a few ideas of different scenarios where you might want to do something different than just react to whatever, clear your camps normally and do the normal stuff.
Right.
So I'll just basically write from ahead. We want even numbers.
Okay.
So if we see a chance to basically match clear with enemy jungle, take it. And then did I mention? I don't think I mentioned the dragon thing then, right? Like if all camps are up, remember you can choose the order of camp respawn. So this is a bit of a more general way to say it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so these are a lot of the main things I can think of. In general, I just want you thinking more about like smoother pathing with how where you're walking. Like again, I want you to be able to draw as straight. Like if you were to draw a line of where your champion walked, obviously it'd be like, a messy circle or what, you know what I mean, right? But I want when you unravel that line, you turn that line into a straight line. I want it to be the smallest length possible, if that makes sense.
So just be more efficient.
Yeah, I want you to be a lot more efficient rather than, again, you're walking in a very, very messy circle back and forth across a lot, and you're not thinking about that like 5 extra seconds I save when I walk to a certain place, or again, staying on the side of the map, taking as much as you can from a side of the map rather than trying to do everything everywhere. And then understand the concept that, yeah, we want to be opposite side oftentimes if we're behind, because we want to make plays opposite side. Even numbers from ahead are better, but that doesn't mean even numbers always, because even numbers when it's like our Scion, with us is not the same as even numbers when it's our Fed, Draven, Thresh. So that was a lot, I know. Are there more things we talked about or additional questions or like anything at all?
I don't think so. I don't think any more questions. Just we'll put these into practice and